The NFL Combine is over, which means more mock drafts for all of us. My name's Tyler, here with my brother Ryan, and we are doing a live mock draft for the San Francisco 49ers. What do we mean by live? We will be acting as the 49ers front office and going through each selection. So while we're doing that, leave a comment. Let us know your thoughts on our picks and what you want to see the 49ers do at each selection. And while you're at it, hit that subscribe button and tackle that bell to get notified when new videos come out. Now, Ryan, let's pull up PFF here. So we've already kind
Let's
of
do it.
started. The simulation has already begun, or are we in a simulation? We don't know. But what we do know is the 49ers are on the clock here, and a lot of different routes I think they could go here. Offensive line is a big need for them. I do think defensive line is going to be something that they could address here. They have already traded Deebo Samuel, and we have factored that trade in here. Um, Ryan, what are your overall thoughts?
I would love for them to be in the offensive lineman camp here. Will Campbell went off the board there at 5. I mean, it's interesting the spot that they're in. Luther Burden, I think, would be a good replacement. I just think that this might be a little high for him. So I honestly I'm not really sure. I think Kelvin Banks, Armand Membu are interesting prospects as well in their own right. Um, yeah, I don't know.
I think another
Not quite
guy,
sure.
if I'm looking at this, so Travarius Ward and Isaac Yiadom they're both free agents. Also, Rock Ya-Sin and Nick McLeod are free agents as well. Just looking at their depth chart, and Taluna Hufunga as well. So, but he's a strong safety. So I say that I'm leaning towards like Will Johnson or Kenneth Grant because they need to beef up that defensive interior as well to give Nick Bosa a good compliment.
Let's
Uh,
go. Let's go. Will Johnson. I feel like they could get another corner. They just re-signed Diamo D Lenore. I will skip his first name,
Gio
but D
Lenore.
Lenore.
Yeah.
Yeah. To contract extension. Let's go get another corner here. In Will Johnson. I think Robert Saleh would love it to have a guy like that
Is
on
it like
his team.
is it like Commodore, but it's like
It's like
Diamador?
Yeah,
Diamador?
Diamador Lenore, something like
Oh,
that. So
I like that. I like that a lot.
so
And it's
uh
funny we say that the first 4 guys are secondary guys. So,
I
but
know.
that being said, though, I do think this could be a Shamar Turner spot. Tyler Booker, I think, would be very interesting. Alfred Collins,
Mhm.
as well. So let's look at the trenches here as we've already done the secondary, and the 49ers have a bunch of picks. So Donovan Jackson, I think, would be interesting as well.
That's
Trying to
where I was kind of leaning, was Donovan Jackson. Where is he? Right
there you got
there.
the Ursary still on the board. If you want
Yeah.
to get that left tackle to develop for post Trent Williams.
I I'm still maybe leaning Donovan Jackson because the fact that you have Trent Williams, I think you go solidify that left guard spot. Donovan Jackson has the potential to maybe kick outside and be a left tackle. And then at your next 2 picks, I think maybe you spend another one on more of a developmental tackle.
Yeah.
I have a guy in mind. Um, but yeah, I think too you could look at like a Braden Swinson to go across from Nick Bosa. You have the 2 Ohio State edge rushers there. I think that would be interesting too. Um, yeah, what are you feeling? What do you? You're
I
the
like
NFC
that a
guy.
lot. I like that. It's funny, I'm not according to PFF on their roster, I'm not actually even seeing Aaron Banks yet, and he is a free agent. So I wonder if they've already moved on from Aaron Banks, which that would make your left guard spot even that much more um already available.
You looking it
Yeah,
up right now?
it's looking like
I
they're
mean,
letting Aaron Banks walk
okay,
as of right
then
now. So let's do Donovan Jackson.
okay, I like that pick there. He's just such a stout offensive lineman, and he's a really good athlete too. He showed that off by switching out to left tackle there. So uh,
Exactly.
here at 75, I think there's a lot of different ways you could go. Dylan Sampson is enticing, especially with Christian McCaffrey getting older.
Yeah.
Um, I, maybe you could look at like a Jalen Royals and get a uh, slot receiver replacement for a guy for Deebo Samuel. I don't know if that would interest you there.
Yeah, because they've done secondary, they've done guard, I'm a big fan of CJ West. We've talked about that a lot. I think this is about the spot where he could end up going as well.
Yeah.
Jordan Phillips would be another guy. Mason Taylor
So
start to prepare for post George Kittle.
so the other
Uh,
guy tackle wise that I think would be interesting would be Anthony Belton. He's I guess further down than I thought. Uh, but I don't know if he will be there.
he's the NC State guy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the NC State guy. Just a really big guy, long arms, great athlete. And so I do feel like that would potentially be a guy that you could draft and stash behind Trent Williams for a season and let him develop.
Okay.
But I don't know. I don't know if that trumps getting uh a more immediate need rather than a backup.
I think go Anthony Belton here. You have
Okay.
so many picks, and there's still going to be guys that can provide a lot of good quality starting minutes. Um, and with the
Okay.
99th pick, and then all your day 3 picks as well.
Okay.
So I think you go to Anthony Belton here, and so we've done Will Johnson secondary, then we've done um, Donovan Jackson coming as that starting left guard. And we'll see.
Okay.
At minimum, it's competition. I mean, they drafted Dominic Puny last year in the 3rd round. And then you saw Spencer Buford as well. But I still think that's a good route to go.
Okay. No, and I like that so far. So we've done Will Johnson, Donovan Jackson, and Anthony Belton, double dipping there on that offensive line.
And Donovan
Um,
Jackson is kicking into guard.
yeah,
To
he's a
just
guard.
be
He's not a
clear.
tackle.
Yeah.
So we do need to address this defensive line. I see a few guys here. Defensive line, CJ West would be a great value there. You have edge rusher. I think I know who you're already leaning towards.
Yeah.
Aeneas Peebles is a fantastic pass rushing defensive lineman. So that's a one that you could look at there if you want to go that route.
Yeah. If we're looking at this, they were 19th in rushing defense last year. And it's like, and I'm biased towards CJ West, but I do think that he would be a good fit. You also go and look at that division that they're in. Is the Seahawks offensive line, it can't really get any worse. So I think it's only going to keep on improving. The Arizona Cardinals are one of the best rushing teams in the league with James Conner and with that great offensive line that they have. So they're going to need somebody up there that can stymie them enough, to slow down their run game.
Okay.
So, yeah, at the same time, I think there's pass rushing upside as well with CJ West.
Okay.
So
Then let's do CJ West.
I like it.
All right. So you're picking here again. This is a nice little run of picks here for the 49ers. So again, corner, 2 offensive linemen, now a defensive lineman. Ashton Gelote, I think, would be interesting. Um, I don't know. Baron Sorrell, get another edge rusher to go across from uh, Nick
Nick
uh,
Bosa.
Nick Bosa. I can want to say Nick Scorton, but he's in this class. Uh, so yeah, what are you feeling?
Well, I'm also thinking too as well, if we're thinking about guys that could bring in value, but also start to prepare for the future. If you're looking at interesting contract situations, though, George Kittle's probably playing
Yeah.
his last season as well. DJ Giddens, running back, I think would be interesting. So we're picking again at 138 here. What what's the running back scenario looking like? I just want to quickly double check that.
So
Um,
running backs, you have Jaden Blue, Damian Martinez, Brashard Smith.
so there's plenty of
Then
running backs that are going to be available
yeah.
at the next pick.
Well, then also too, I don't know nearly as much about Jacoby Krosky Merritt. I've seen some good things across Twitter about him, but like I know Jarquez Hunter's a good running back. Cleo Mullings was a good running back. Trevor Etienne, Kyle Monungai, Bisal Tutin,
Yeah,
I think are all good guys. So honestly, Ollie Gordon is way down here, but I think
yeah.
this would be a landing spot for him at 112, honestly.
Let's
If you want to go
let's
that route.
go. Let's go Gunnar Helm here, and then I bet we
Okay.
can go running back and then edge rusher with these next
Okay.
2 picks that we have at 138 and
At
139.
139. Okay.
Yeah.
I
So
like that plan.
yeah. So there's gonna be some edge rushers that are gonna be around here in that position, or we could go Jackson Dart.
Eh.
I'm just joking. I'm just joking. So
Jaw Joyner is the one that I like the most
let's
out
do
of these guys.
Jaw. I like Jaw because we
Okay.
haven't addressed edge rusher at all yet, right?
Mhm. No, we
Yeah.
haven't.
So and then let's do that, and then let's check out the running back room. We could go Ollie Gordon. I would like that.
Yeah,
I think that would be
let's do
interesting.
Ollie Gordon. I think
He,
he's an underrated prospect, and he could catch out of the backfield too. He's just not the burner that a lot of these guys are. But the funny thing about that is it's so rare in the NFL that these guys bust 50+ yard runs just the way that like safeties and coverages are set up.
yeah,
It's so hard to break those runs. So I like Ollie Gordon a lot.
yeah, yeah. Okay, and then we're picking
Oh
again
man.
right here.
Uh Honestly, you might as well go Riley Leonard. So, just to do a quick recap. So, corner, guard, tackle, defensive interior, tight end, edge, running back. Um, the only thing we haven't addressed is wide receiver.
That's what I was just thinking too.
So, let's look. Antoine Wells is a Deebo Samuel esque guy, 6 foot 205. He's going to be that power slot. His nickname is Juice because when he has a lot of speed, I think that would be an interesting one to consider. Chamari DK, not quite as big, but I think another guy brings a lot of speed to the table there as well.
Well, that's what I'm thinking too. Is if you're looking at this lineup here, how are you going to replace those Deebo Samuel's numbers? And so that being said,
Mhm,
like they have Jawan Jennings, who's improved a lot. They have Brandon Ayuk coming back from ACL injury. They have Ricky Pierce also. It's like maybe you don't need to replace that type of receiver as Deebo Samuel because honestly, you look at this receiving room, it and then you have Chris McCaffrey. He comes back healthy, and then George Kittle as a tight end. Like I kind of like those five guys. So maybe we
mhm.
don't have to try and replace Deebo Samuel. Let's just try and find a solid receiver here as well. So like what's your thoughts on like Kobe Hudson?
Um, Reminds me a little bit of Javon Baker. He's not as fast or as explosive. He's a little bit more of a technician. There is definitely some overlap there with like Jawan Jennings and Brandon Ayuk. Kyle Williams is that like smaller slot player. Nick Nash is like an even slower, like Jaden Higgins type. Um, Caden Prather, again, a lot of overlap there. Ricky White would be an interesting one. He has a lot of like speed on tape, but then he didn't run well at the combine, so I feel like that could potentially hurt his draft stock there as well.
Okay.
Ty Felton's just not going to be here, I don't think at this point. Like
Yeah.
this is like the very floor of what Ty Felton would bring or
Oh yeah,
would
this is worst case scenario for him when it comes to draft day. So let's go up. Let's go find a shiftier slot guy that you like here.
Let's do Kyle Williams.
Okay,
That is who that is.
I like
So,
that.
all right. And then
And
the 49ers forfeited that pick for I don't know, maybe they were pumping noise into their stadium or tampering with free agent quarterbacks before they were
no,
allowed.
that's what the Falcons do.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah,
Oh, and you lose third round picks for that, I think. Is
exactly. No, I think ours was just a fifth. No, ours was a fifth round. We lost our third. We lost it because we traded to Matt Judon. That's how we
No, I'm
lost
talking
it.
about last year.
Oh, did we lose a pick? Yeah, we're just cheating.
Yeah.
It's if you're cheating and winning, then you could say it's worth it. But if you're cheating and you still suck, then you're like, what the hell? You're not cheating right.
Yeah. All right. So here with the 49ers, we're kind of in best player available point. One thing that I know 49ers fans are probably going to hate this topic of conversation that I'm about to bring up, but Brock Purdy is going to be a free agent next year. And I do think it is worth bringing up. Do they invest this year in a younger quarterback to see if they can bring in and develop and maybe not re-sign Brock Purdy at this point? Also, too, they have so many effing picks. Like we've already made we've already made 8 picks. So
I think that's a conversation that's worth having. I'm trying to see who else legitimately
good.
is available. Like they could also maybe double dip at running back again. I could see maybe if
Yeah.
you'd want to see what other edge rushers are here. I am noticing though there is a drop at edge rusher after about 130, 150.
Yeah. Yeah.
From after doing these mock drafts. They could maybe go Jake Majors and get some more depth on that interior offensive line and get
Okay.
a guy that could come in and be center. Jake Brentel's good, but we'll also kind of have to wait and see um, Just see there's some more improvement, even if you do
Okay.
have Brock Purdy back there, if you go with a younger quarterback.
Let's do
Um,
that, and then we'll wait on those, like, that run of 3 late 7th round picks
yeah,
to get a guy. So,
yeah.
Jake
But
Majors. Oh, sorry.
oh, well, you're gonna say Jake Majors is the selection, and but I agree with what you're saying. Though, is I think there is going to be a conversation to be had about the quarterback position because if you're just looking at the cap situation and Brock Purdy, he's not going to get top dollar, but he's going to get 45, 50 million though.
Yeah,
I think, and he's going to be pushing for highest paid QB in the league, and I just don't see how you can do that at all without selling the entire team.
yeah.
So,
Let's
I
le let's
oh,
go
go ahead.
with Tyler Shuck here. I feel like that's good value. He has a lot of tools that could, like, he has the tools of a top caliber quarterback in the NFL. He just doesn't he hasn't pieced it all together. He's a bit of an older prospect. So if Shanahan could get his hands on him and make things make sense, then I think you could have something there with
Let's
Tyler
do it.
Shuck. It's just there's a reason he's a 7th round pick. So I have an idea for the next pick too, but he just got drafted. I was gonna say maybe double dip with the speedster at wide receiver, but just got taken there by the Pittsburgh Steelers. At this point, maybe take a Malachi Moore or go get a member of the safety. Double dip at interior offensive lineman with Dylan Fairchild, who I believe did he take snaps at center? No, Tate
Yeah,
Ratledge was the backup center.
yeah. Well, only thing I'm thinking of is what have we done so far again for the defensive interior? I just want to double check this here.
CJ West, we got Jaw Joyner. Um,
We could
so we
double
could
check again on the defensive interior.
okay. Defensive interior, Tonka Hemingway, one of my favorite names. Howard
It is.
Cross is a good defensive lineman. He played for Notre Dame. He got hurt though in the playoffs, and you could really see kind of the dip in play.
Gotcha.
In after that, Nazir Stackhouse is much more of a run stuffer than anything. So I think if you want to go defensive interior, Howard Cross is the guy.
I want to go with Ernest Hemingway's
Nah,
great grandchild.
I like the name, but I Howard Cross is probably the better player.
Okay, let's do Howard Cross then.
Okay.
So I like that.
All right. Last pick here, pick 255. Not quite Mr. Irrelevant, but
Close though.
yeah, close. You could grab Jordan Hancock. Xavier Truss is going to kick into guard. Um, anyone catching your eye?
Only thing I can think of is, I mean, they do need. I mean, they really only have Isaac Orendo on contract for next year. Jordan Mason, Elijah Mitchell, Patrick Taylor are all going to be free agents. Um, so if
You
they
want to get
want to go
you want to snag
Donovan
Donovan
Edwards,
Edwards? Yeah, let's do
sure.
that.
Yeah.
All right. That was a lengthy 7 round mock draft here for the San Francisco 49ers. Just
Oh yeah.
they have a lot of picks here. So just to kind of run through them all really quick. Will Johnson, Donovan Jackson, Anthony Belton, CJ West, Gunnar Helm, Jod Joyner, Ollie Gordon, Kyle Williams, Jake Majors, Tyler Shuck, Howard Cross the third, and then Donovan Edwards to round things out. So double dipping at multiple levels of the offensive line and of the defensive line as well. So I think all in all for the 49ers, they have all the stars in place to go and be a Super Bowl team. I think this is the perfect draft for a team like them, where they really just need to up the middle level talent of their team and then allow those stars to go out and make the big plays. The other thing too, they have the offseason to get healthy again. They were really banged up at the end of the season. You
Yeah.
go look, Brandon Ayuk tore his ACL. What the situation with Ricky Pearsall, I think, really slowed his development as well. And then that offensive line got banged up too. So, and then not to mention Chris McCaffrey basically missing the whole year. So
Yeah. Yeah. I would agree. It was just a very weird start to the year for the team, and then there were just some other injuries that just kept on happening. So they do still have the stars. I wouldn't be surprised if they make a big splash in free agency, whether it be via trade. I've been predicting maybe they go after Miles Garrett. I think that would help out this defensive line a bunch. I think that's one thing looking back at this draft. Like I love getting CJ West and then the edge rusher. Who'd we get the edge rusher again?
Jaw
Uh,
Joyner.
Jaw Joyner. But they potentially could have made a move sooner. But that being said, though, is like you make a move sooner, you don't get Donovan Jackson or Anthony Belton, and so it's kind of taking that yin and yang there. And so,
Yeah.
but I like the moves overall. I think it's going to be interesting just with all the picks that they have. It's like kind of
Yeah.
how they go and navigate the draft. It does, and that's what's neat about this lesson, because it does seem like it's better to go edge rusher sooner because there's a big drop off there after
Mhm.
around 150, and they have 5 picks after 150 or
Yeah.
148 in the including this is they have 5 picks. So there's kind of that drop off there. So, but there's some other potential interior offensive linemen they could go and get later. So that's where it's interesting to go and see and try and navigate this draft.
Yeah, no, I think for the 49ers specifically, this was a fun exercise to kind of go through and just see what all they could do with this roster. But for now, that's going to be it for this episode. Let's go ahead. Let's wrap it up here. If you have not already, please go ahead and like and subscribe. That is the best way to help out the channel. While you're down there, leave a comment on what you thought of the San Francisco 49ers 7-round mock draft. Did you love it? Did you hate it? What would you have done differently? Other than that, we'll see you guys next time.